Hello everyone, this is Cowboy 2011. Today, we're going to look at where Kotal is on the tier list and why he's there with his matchups, his variations, and so on. But before we get into that, I have something to say. I have posted color-changing things like Liu Kang's tattoos with lightning coming down behind them and stuff like that, right? And, stuff for Kotal Kahn too, and other characters, Noob, stuff like that. And Sindel recently. I have to say that is specifically for Twitter. That will never prioritize, I will never prioritize that over gameplay. Usually those edits take about 5 minutes to 15 minutes. And that is specifically for Twitter for one thing. Is to get people from Twitter to come over to my channel. For example, I did a Liu Kang video, the one I mentioned, that had like 200 views on YouTube, right? And it doesn't really seem that logical to put that out when I'm doing gameplay that's going around 700 and up. 700, 800, even like 1,000 views and up. It doesn't make any sense for me to put that video out when I can get gameplay that has a lot more views. Make sense? So, let me put this. That only got 200 views on YouTube. On Twitter, that got 4,000 views on Twitter. That's why I do it. That's why if you see anything with the logos on it, it's pretty much been on Twitter, and I put it on YouTube for 2 reasons. 1, I can simply type it in my videos and it'll pop up. 2, at the bottom of it, I actually have the twitter.com/3215892, whatever the status is. I can copy that, put it in a new window, and click retweet. So I don't have to re-upload the video. I can just keep alternating between them when I feel like it to promote the channel. That's how some of them discover my channel, like Molina versus Shao Kahn, and stuff like that, and then after that, like Shao Kahn versus Darkseid. A lot of stuff like that. But like I said, that will never get prioritized over a video. I'm trying to do a video a day. If I can't do a video a day, then I'm already working on the video for the next day, I should say. And if that doesn't happen, then something's going on, I'm sick, or I'm working a lot, one of the two. Anyway, that's why we're not here. What we're here to talk about is Kotal Kahn and what he is like this. And this is before the Sindel update. I'll say it again, before the Sindel update. How can you tell? Terminator's here, but Sindel's nowhere on the roster. Sindel's actually going to get under Kotal Kahn. You know, she's finally going to be under a real Khan. She's going to be under Kotal Kahn on the roster slot. That's where she'll be. She's not here, so this is before she's come out. This will come out 11:15, I believe, when I'm publishing this. It's 11:14. It's about to be midnight, but yes, this is when it's coming out. And also with the color wheels, another thing. I try to post them at midnight, so you guys don't get a notification, but you guys still do. So maybe I just gotta do it like unlisted, because like I said, those are mostly for me, so I can find them again. Anyway, moving on. Let's first start. I'm going to start from the top with Shang Tsung and end with Cetrion in the matchup. Well, actually, let's talk about variations. Which of the 3 tournament variations is Kotal's best variation? I'll actually tell you right now, I believe his best one is Ascension. But it depends on who he's going against. I believe Buluc's right there with it, because I believe as long as you master those 2 variations, you can pretty much take on or have a good shot of taking anyone on in the game. Totemic is probably the worst. I feel like it is 1 or 2 buffs away from being good. For instance, his Jaguar. If you meter burn it, there's actually a certain distance where you go through the projectile, but they still have time to block. And they have made this -8, but you still can get punished. Or something like that. It's -8 or 9. They're still fast enough moves to punish you you know. And, like, there's just this certain range you have to use them on. Usually it's, like, just outside of your forward 2 range, but not full screen. There's this certain range you have to be in where you can catch them. So, yeah. And anyway, what would I do to buff that variation? The first thing, if it goes through projectile and you hit the opponent, you get a crushing blow. What's this crushing blow? It zooms in on their neck, and you see Kotal Kahn in his Jaguar form take a chunk of their neck off. And yeah, I think that would actually make it good. Second one, and the second buff, one of two things. This has to do with the blood totem. This is like, I'm just going to throw that random as hell, okay? The first one is this, only this totem should be able to get meter burn, and when you meter burn it, he summons 2 totems. Like I said, that's a completely random run. The next one, completely random, buff 2, also does with the blood totem. When you meter burn it, it takes the blood off of the stage around you. From everything that's been spilled. From Kotal's blood to everyone's blood that has been spilled. It sucks it off the ground and changes it to health. That'd be crazy, but I'd love to see the animation of like a whirlpool of blood slowly going around the totem getting off the ground. It would look sick. Like I said, but I think the Jaguar one has to happen. And then after that, it becomes a threat, because it'll do like a 30% crushing blow, or somewhere like right below 30, whether it's like 28, 26, versus like the 16% you get now. If you have a 28% crushing blow, and all you have to do is go through a projectile, it's going to put the fear of God into him. Let's see if he gets zoned out now. So yeah, Ascension's the best one because he has mix-ups with his tick throws. He's got a down 1, a standing 1, a down 3 in the corner, you know, a 1-2 tick throw. And that's actually what makes him dangerous, is his 1-2. His 1, his 1-2, and his 1-2-1. And his 1-2, Kotal Kahn cut. So he can do a tick throw and standing 1, and they can be like, you know what? He's going to tick throw off of again. I'm going to jump. All of a sudden, the second one hits, you get 1-2, Kahn cut, you know, forward 1-2, like, command grab. It's like, you know what? He's not going to do it. I'm going to block. They see that you did the 1, and the 2 came out, and you're like, they'll be like, yes, I blocked it. And then they can still get tick thrown. That's what makes him dangerous. He can start mixing up his 1-2 tick throw and his 1-2 Kahn cut. And they have to guess right. That's what makes him scary. Why is this a good thing? Because he doesn't have an overhead. That's why his command grab's a mid. That's why you can't uppercut it. And that's why it's fine how it is. So stop complaining. What does Ascension have that makes it problematic? One, Kotal Kahn's buttons aren't the greatest still. He is still negative. He's actually a character that when his turn ends, it's actually the end of his turn. He cannot cancel it and keep going. It's the end of his turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't get like a Jackie cancel where it's like button cancel, button cancel, button cancel, button cancel. Where you're like, oh my god, like you have to know when to poke. You just have to, like, sometimes you just have to go through it. Kotal Kahn, when it's the end of his turn, it's actually the end of his turn. Sure, he can get away with stuff, but it's all gimmicks that he's trying to get away with. And if people actually labbed against him, they would see that. Like, oh, this back 2-2-1 that he does, it has a flawless block gap? Oh my god, I didn't know that. Here I've been just trying to jump. Here I've been just trying to hold up. That's all people do. So yes, I think Ascension is slightly better than Buluc. Buluc is good if you can control the matches, if you can control the game. Actually, I would probably choose Buluc when I'm against a zoner, because if you get your totems up, get a healing rate, they're not doing anything. They can hit me. Like, I can actually try getting my Sun Disc out, and if we trade, dude, that's like 15% versus like 3% damage. I'll take that trade. And then if I'm like, you know what, screw this, I can't get a thing out, and if you can just force him to block once, you have your totems out, and you send your sunlight out, that sunlight does 8% damage on them. 8. Yeah, scary. But if you can't control the situation, once again using Jackie as an example, going Buluc against a Jackie that's a first KO where she has the cancels, he has a problem if he can't get his totems out. Or maybe like, against Nightwolf. That Nightwolf that was complaining that I was doing too much damage and he couldn't do damage to me is because he let me control the game. He let me control putting my totems out. If he was actually playing Nightwolf to how Nightwolf should be played, and if he controlled the match with his up close and zoning, well, not really zoning, but up close and controlling spacing, I should have never got a totem out. And if I can never get a totem out, he's almost like a Kotal Kahn with no special moves but one, and that's Grand Discus. And that's actually, yeah. If Buluc can't control it, that's where he falls. If Ascension gets controlled, that's where he falls. So, stuff like that. Anyway, on to what I feel like the matchups are in this game against Kotal. So you're going to see a tier list pop up. That's going to be empty. You'll notice that I have Kotal at the top, because that's the character we're using. I have losing right under him. That means Kotal loses matchups. This matchups ranges from 10-0 where he gets completely demolished to 6-4 where he barely loses. Even, which is 5-5, which I feel is pretty even. You know what I'm saying? Winning matchups, which is a 4-6 where Kotal wins 6 times out of the 10 matchups, or it's a complete 10-0 in Kotal's favor. And then after that, I have an unknown section where I don't know where these characters are. I haven't played against them that much, I couldn't tell you. So let's start with Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung, I'll put as unknown. I don't know the character. I don't play that many Shang Tsungs, and when I do, they're either zoning me out, or I don't know their frame data up close. Simple as that. So right now, he's an unknown, until I can find a good Shang Tsung where I can get matches against him over and over and over and over again. I don't know. Next one, Shao Kahn. I believe Kotal beats Shao Kahn. Whether it's somewhere between 4-6 and I'd say 7-3. Something like that. But main thing is, I think Kotal beats Shao Kahn. Why? Like, there's good Shao Kahns out there. Don't get me wrong. There's good ones. But I feel like everything Shao Kahn does, Kotal does it. And say something like, here's a good one. He can, when he's up and close, yeah, he's scary. But when Kotal Kahn's up close and he's grabbing and throwing you around, I feel like he's scarier because he's getting a damage buff. Right? And then after that, like, you don't see Shao Kahn's other variations. And even like Shao Kahn's taunts, they're good, but Kotal does them better with his totems. And that's how even when they're fighting and it's like this crazy, like just swinging out there, I feel like Kotal can win. That's how I feel. I feel like Kotal wins that matchup. Once again, my opinion, if you put like the highest Kotal player against the highest Shao Kahn player, I feel that Kotal wins. That's just my opinion. He is not as bad as Kotal was pre-patch, but he's not where Kotal is now, if that makes sense. He's like in this weird middle area. He was better than Kotal pre-patch, and now he's worse than Kotal. So yeah, that's where I feel. That's how I feel about that one. Frost. I would put Frost in the unknown section because every time I fight Frost, it is a zoning match, which Kotal can't zone. So I have to do. This is actually one great example of. I would use Totemic, not Totemic, but yeah, you can use Totemic in this matchup too. I would use Buluc over Ascension in this matchup, guaranteed, because I can get totems out. I can heal, I can send sunlight out, and every now and then if I get a disc, it's going to hurt. That's if she zones me out. Up close, I don't know her frames well enough. You know, like, I just don't know. So, yeah. Next one we have Nightwolf. I actually don't have a Nightwolf picture on this thing, so we'll just put Nightwolf right there. Nightwolf beats Kotal. I firmly believe Nightwolf beats Kotal. His buttons are better. He has good range. Fast zoning. He can reflect Kotal if he does his zoning. But he cannot default to zoning. Which variation do I think is better for this matchup? I'm going to say Ascension is better if it is an up-close battle. If they do zone you out, switch to Buluc, control the match like I did against that Nightwolf in my other video that was saying nerf Kotal, and complaining that he couldn't do damage when I was doing 38% a touch. If you are good at controlling the match against a Nightwolf that is not aggressive and tries zoning you out, Buluc's the way to go. If he is up in your grill, Ascension's the way to go. But overall, I think Nightwolf beats Kotal Kahn. My opinion, that's how I feel. Nightwolf beats Kotal. Next one is Johnny. Johnny Cage beats Kotal. Why? Because he can just do everything. He has buttons, he can cancel buttons into an EX projectile, and then he's plus, it's still his turn. He's got an advanced mid. He's got outtake that has a 9-frame projectile on it. That has good distance, that can cover the air and the ground. Unless you are in Kotal's forward 2 area, then you can finally duck it. So yes, I think Johnny Cage beats Kotal. Which variation should you play against Johnny Cage? It depends on which variation he picks. If he picks outtake, I would say Buluc. If he picks the other two, I would say Ascension. The other two are about being in your face. Ascension wants to be in your face. I got a command grab. You know, like, as soon as it's not your turn, if I can force you, if I can finally have my turn, then tick throws, like I said, the mix-ups start coming. If it's zoning outtake, I'd say Buluc. Because you can get a totem out, but you're going to take a hit, which is stupid. You can get another totem out, take a hit, get another totem out, take a hit, parry, get a sunlight out, take a hit, you know, and then just heal. Then every now and again, you'll parry, throw a disc when he's not expecting it, boom, 20%. And if it's on Crushing Blow, 40%, or something or close to that. Then after that, it's the same thing of getting your totems back up and stuff like that. That's my opinion. Sonya beats Kotal, in my opinion, again, for the same reasons almost as Johnny Cage. Except she has mix. She can zone you out. She has a projectile that's not a projectile, so you can't parry it. I'm talking about the drone drop. And then she has overheads, lows, she can stop them, she can keep going. She has jumping projectiles, she has crushing blows on both projectiles in the ground and air. Which variation do I think you should play? That depends on the Sonya you're fighting against. Zoning you out, Buluc. Up close, Ascension. That's pretty much what this comes down to. If they're up close, Ascension. Far away, Buluc. If you can control, you feel like you can control it, if she's in your face but you can still feel like you're controlling it, play Buluc. Cassie Cage. I feel like Cassie Cage beats Kotal because she has range, she has zoning, she has strings that have projectiles on them that can zone. I feel like she beats them. I don't know what it is. Either it could be anywhere from a 6-4 to a 10-0, like I said. But I think she beats Kotal. Which ones to use? Same again. If she's up in your face, Buluc, far away. Or if she's up in your face, Ascension, far away, Buluc. Jax. Jax is actually a very interesting one. I feel like this is the one that I could either put even or he beats Kotal. Like, I feel like it's that close of a matchup. It could be either or. Like, I feel like if you can't get the momentum going in your way, you lose. But if you can start getting momentum and it's harder for you to keep momentum, you can win. But just like talking out right now, it's a little bit harder for you to keep momentum than him. So I'm going to say Jax beats Kotal. Talking out loud, yes. Jax beats Kotal. Which one would I play? Probably Ascension no matter the Jax. That's honestly how I feel. I'd probably play Ascension no matter what Jax I fought. Next one. Scorpion. Scorpion, I think, is in the same boat as Jax. But once you get your momentum going, it gets going. If he can get his momentum going, it gets going. You know what I'm saying? What variation would I choose against a Scorpion player? All the time, I probably should start choosing Ascension. Because one, he can react. He should be able to react to me pulling up a totem. Because they are almost a second long, and defensive totem takes longer. You know what I'm saying? If he sees me pull out a totem, I'm getting combo. I can't zone him out. If he jumps, I have to actually respect his jumping because he can teleport, and if you try anti-airing, the teleport's hitting you, you're getting comboed. But if you can keep him down with Ascension, keep getting like the, what was it called? The command grabs for damage buff. Great. Even if you're Buluc, and if you can get in his face and keep getting like totems out, it starts becoming a good thing. But as soon as he starts controlling the match, he really controls the match against Kotal. But that being said, I'm just going to put him at even. Even though it's pretty close to even, in my opinion. Noob Saibot. I would say Noob can beat Kotal. Noob beats Kotal. He has better range, better projectiles, and better buttons, and even buttons that push you away. Where it should be your turn, but because we're Kotal, it's not really our turn, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's Noob beats Kotal. Which one do I think? Ascension. Once again, same problem. He can zone you out, but he can also react with a teleport to get you out of totems. If he says like, nah, he'll probably throw a totem out. Even on like guessing, he can get more of a reward than us, because if we get a crushing blow, totems go away, stuff like that. Anyway, moving on. Baraka. I think Baraka beats Kotal. Baraka has a better up-close game, better frame data up close, and stuff to push you away, and stuff to cancel into, like the chop chop, where it's like, dude, can I get through that? No, I gotta throw a projectile and push you away. God damn it. And stuff like that. I think Baraka beats Kotal. Next, Raiden. Raiden does not beat Kotal. Stop it. Stop it. Raiden loses to Kotal. Because right now, Raiden is where Kotal used to be. Kotal was at the bottom for 5 months. Now we're not. Raiden is now at the bottom. Raiden needs help. Like, I lost to a Raiden. You can't even be mad when you lose to a Raiden. I'm just like, wow, dude, that's a good Raiden. Like, but I shouldn't have lost it. I lost it. Like, that character didn't win him the game. He won the game. With how he spaced and everything like that. I just lost. Because Raiden has to work a lot harder, my opinion. Because, yeah, he's pretty bad right now. Jackie beats Kotal. No surprise there. Why? She can just do whatever she wants. Which variation to choose? Probably Ascension. Even against the jumping one, probably Ascension. You know, if you feel like you can get her off, play Buluc. But I think Jackie wins against Kotal pretty easily. Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero beats Kotal. It's got mix-ups. Good up-close game. Unreactable mix-ups. The overhead and low, I swear they come out like at the same frame, so you can't really... You have to guess. It's a true guess. His damage output's good. You know, I think he beats Kotal. He also has some good range. But he beats Kotal. That's how I feel. Even an Avalanche, if you can't control where he does with it... Yeah, like, what would I play against him? Probably... That's an ugly Sub-Zero. Who said... I gotta change the... I can't change the costume. Don't take the video down just because he's on the screen, YouTube. I'm not even going to say his name, because I don't know if that's still going on. I actually don't know if that's still going on. But anyway, yes. I think Sub-Zero beats Kotal. Kano. I feel Like, Kano actually loses to Kotal. It's just that one special move that I don't know, like the acid toss. I don't know what to do about it. As soon as I find out what to do about it, I feel like this is actually a hard matchup for Kano. Or I mean, like, I guess it's not that hard, but I feel like Kotal can get the advantage easier than Kano. So right now, I would put Kotal wins against Kano. My opinion. Kabal. Kabal beats Kotal. Kabal's got range. Kabal's got zoning. Kabal's got frames. Kabal's got fast frames. Fast normals. And stuff like that. Kabal beats Kotal. I don't know which variation he goes against him. I guess Ascension, because he can be up in your face at any moment. Liu Kang. Liu Kang beats Kotal. No doubt about it. What should he play? God, dude. He can go any way. Depends on the Liu Kang player. But it's between Ascension and Buluc, in my opinion. That's all it's going to be, Ascension and Buluc. Not Totemic. I'm not good enough to give advice to go against, or who. Anyway. Katana. Katana beats Kotal. Between Highborn, just Highborn alone. She has cancel pressure. She has the fan swirl, royal protection, that can leave her plus on block, whether she lets it go at the first fan, second fan, or third fan, or like right before the second fan hits, but the second fan still hits, so she's even plus more. She beats Kotal. Can zone him out in other variations. She beats Kotal. Can't convince me otherwise. Kung Lao. Kung Lao! I say this is actually an even matchup. As soon as he stops jumping, and jumping, and jumping, and dive kicking, and jumping, yes, it's an even matchup. And especially if you can control the jumping, and dive kicking, then he loses. But on the ground, I feel like this is actually an even matchup. You can go either variation you want. Jade. I feel like this is also an even matchup. Why? Zone me out when I'm playing Buluc. I can get my totems out pretty easily. I will heal. Yeah, you're going to have a problem. And then after that, if you'll have your projectile immunity, go ahead. I'll start parrying projectiles. That's fine. Then after that, you're going to do your projectile thing, and I want to send the sun at you and get my totems out. And the sun... Oh man, that was weird. I thought I heard a phone ringing. Like, am I going to get murdered? Is this a horror movie? That was weird as hell. Phone? Phone? Is that you? No. Dude, that was weird. I'm losing myself. I'm going insane. It's late. Anyway. Yeah. I feel like this is actually an even matchup, because they both have to control. If you go Ascension, I feel like you might be at a little bit of disadvantage, especially if you get far away. But if you go Buluc, you have a better chance to win with Buluc than Ascension in this Jade matchup. Like, yeah. That's how I feel. She zones you out, you get totems out, you get a sun out, you might send a sun out, and every now and then she might catch a sun totem. Or, your sun disc. And it's like, oh shit. Next up, Scarlet. I feel like Scarlet beats Kotal. The fact that her blood tentacle is not a projectile hurts, like, especially Totemic. If Ascension can't get in, which it's really hard for Ascension to get in, you just can't get in. If you can somehow get in with Totemic, bless you, but I can't. Because she can parry the Jaguar. Figure that out. Tell me how that works. I want you to stand in that stand she stands in, and I want to send a Jaguar on you, and then after that you can tell me if you can parry a fucking Jaguar. I doubt you can. And if you can, then... okay, you're not human. You're a god. But it's probably this matchup, if you can't get in, has to be Buluc. And you might not even get your defense totem out, because there's so many projectiles on the screen. She has a low. She has a low one, she has a high fast one, she has a tentacle swarm, she has a blood ball that's a mid coming at you. Or it might be no, it's a high, but since she has the tentacle thing, you have to block every now and then, so you're going to take chip damage and stuff like that. So I think it's hard. It's hard on Kotal. Aaron Black. I feel like Aaron Black is even. I really do. As soon as he can't use his rifle that much. He only has once you like learn and like feel like it's a drop kick. It's a slide. And usually at a certain distance, players have to react to him running or him starting to run and slide. What does Kotal have to do? I'll put a parry out. I can parry that low. I can parry that overhead. Guess what? You're in trouble now. But even so, I feel like Kotal does okay in this matchup. I would say Ascension is the variation you want to go over Buluc. I feel like that's fine. Ascension, you're good. Next one. Devora. This is actually in the unknown section. Every time I fight a Devora, I actually have no idea, like, what's going on. I feel like she's a DLC character that people got early access to that I still don't have access to, and I have no idea what's going on. I actually need to lap her. Like, she kept hitting with the throw crushing blow, and I was like, I don't know what triggers it, but I know it's coming, so I'm not going to block, and then I was getting hit. Then I had to read the comment section. They're like, well, actually, when there's one bug on you, a crushing blow can happen. Stuff I didn't know about. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. But that's in the unknown section. I don't know if she beats Kotal. I don't know if it's even. Alright, and I don't know if Kotal beats her. I just don't know. Next up is Kotal Kahn. Kotal Kahn beats Kotal Kahn. Why? Dude, he's Kotal Kahn. You can't compete with Kotal Kahn. Kotal Kahn has a really hard time with Kotal Kahn. Next one. Terminator. Terminator also unknown. Why? Because when I fight one, I lose, but it's just because I don't know what's going on. And, like, I'm in this weird thing, like, I actually don't know. I've actually practiced with Terminator, but when I fight against him, I feel like I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, and it's almost a month, and I have rarely seen Terminators, which is crazy. But, yeah. Actually, it's been a month. He came out in October 7th, right? Yeah. It's over a month now. Where are you Terminator players at? You need to come out in Combat League and represent and teach me how to fight against the Terminator. Where are you at? Damn. Geras. Geras beats Kotal. I mean, like, he's got projectile. Well, he's got a low projectile that's not really a low projectile. He's got a command grab that's also one of the few mids in the game. I think there's only 3 mid-command grabs, and Geras has one, which it makes it even scarier. And his is actually a corner carry. Yeah. But even if, without that variation, he has the damage output, he has the buttons, he has the cancels, I feel like it's just against Kotal. Playing it Geras, yes. He wins that matchup. Next. Collector. I don't play that many Collectors, but I feel like they have a harder time fighting against Kotal than Kotal has against Collector. If that makes sense. Like, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say Kotal beats Collector. What variation can you use? I think you can use either or any one of them. Against Geras, I think you have to going back to Geras, I think you have to go Ascension. Collector, though, I feel like you can use anyone you want, in my opinion. Cetrion. Cetrion loses to Kotal so bad, they need to buff her. Like, no, I can't. Like, that actually hurt my soul. Like, I'm going to hell just for saying that. Cetrion beats Kotal. Cetrion has the zoning to keep Kotal out. Cetrion has a teleport to go where's Cetrion. Cetrion has the buttons to beat Kotal out. Cetrion has the normals to beat Kotal out. It's Cetrion's game. When these two fight, it's apparent that she is an Elder God, and I am just an Oshtek. That's actually how I feel in this matchup. I feel like it's unfair, and I gotta work. I should get paid just by playing this matchup. I should get paid like $30 a round. Okay? Like, I'm expected to play $90 a set. Or a game if I can get to round 3. You know what I mean? So yes, this is what I'd say is Kotal's matchup chart. Something around that. Didn't have a Nightwolf portrait, so there's Nightwolf. That's one he loses. Then I have a Terminator portrait. That's in the unknown section. And that is everyone. This is before Sindel releases. I'll say it again. This is before Sindel releases. So I don't know how that matchup's going to be. I don't know if she's a zoner, where you have to play Buluc. I don't know if she's a rushdown, where you have to play Ascension. She might be both. It might be actually variation dependent. Who knows? But that's where the matchup is. Now, where would I put Kotal on the tier list? Is Kotal low tier? No, he's not low tier. When you think of low tier now, you think of Raiden. We are not at Raiden status. We are between Cetrion and Raiden, actually. We're above a god but below an elder god. Best way to put it. Are we above Shao Kahn? Yes. Are we above Kano? I think so. Are we above Collector? Yes, I think we are above Collector. Then everyone else, I think, is either with us in the same tier or above us. So, that being said, where is Kotal? I think Kotal is almost perfectly in the middle of mid-tier, or maybe like low mid-tier, if that makes sense. He is almost as balanced as a character should be in a game. Why? Because he does stuff where, like, if I do a string, if you block that string, my turn's actually over. Or I have to spin the meter with, like, discus throw to get you away from me, and even still, that resets the situation. He has no cancels where it's his turn. He has no overheads and low mix-up where he can get comboed off of. He is actually probably one of the honest characters in the game. And then after that, if people actually labbed him, they would realize he can have faults. Like, say, against Nightwolf versus that last Nightwolf versus Buluc, if he stopped backing off and stopped letting me get totems out, he could have won. If he was in my face when I was Buluc and I never got a totem out, he could have won. If he blocked and I never could open him up, he could have won, and all I got was grabs. Oh, he could have won easily. Especially with his one pressures. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, shoulder charge, 1, shoulder charge, 1, 1, and his stuff like that, I feel like he could have won. Same thing with Jackie. Just good. So, like I said, he's probably the most honest character out here. He has a lot of range. That's always good for him. His footsie range is a little bit further than most, but when it comes to someone's footsie range, like, say, a Jade, they probably have the same range, but Jade's back 2 is way faster. So, yes, I feel he is mid-tier. We have made it to mid-tier, boys. We're at, like I said, either right in the middle of mid-tier or on the low end of mid-tier. But nonetheless, we're mid-tier. We're not a high mid-tier. Definitely not high mid-tier. We're mid-mid or low-mid. We are not low-tier. Or we're mid-low tier, rather. We're mid-mid or mid-low. Yeah, that makes sense. So, overall, he's a mid-tier character. He's not high-tier. He's not brain-dead. You gotta use your brain. If you actually mess up with him, you mess up. You can get punished pretty hard. After a string, it's almost all gimmicks. That's what people get caught by. If people actually labbed him, because what people are facing Kotal's now, they don't know what to do because they feel like this is the first time he's in the game. Because for 5 months he's been what was arguably the worst character in the game. And now that he's not there, people don't know what to do. So people are screaming, nerf Kotal Kahn. Because he gets his totems out and I can't deal damage to him. Or he gets his totems out and he just touches me and it's almost half my health. Don't let him get his totems up. That's actually how you stop him. Pretty easily. If you can actually, that's actually how you stop him. Because everything else, it's a gimmick. Forward 1, 2, totem. Forward 2, or 4-2 totem, 4 or 1-2 totem, 1-2-1-1, or 1-2-1. You know, like standing 1 totem, forward 3 totem, forward 3-4. If it hits, then totem. It's all gimmicks that he has. It's all gimmicks. They're just letting me get. They're just letting us get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Kotal. That's where Kotal is. That's where I think Kotal is right now. And he, like I said, I think he's pretty damn balanced. He might actually not get touched for a very long time. For a very long time in patches. Like I said, the only buff he needs is actually a variation-specific buff. Everything else, I think he's fine. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. He doesn't need a nerf, and actually, he doesn't really need frame buffs. Like, I do get pissed, but I feel like that he's fair. Not like Jackie, unfair. Liu Kang, unfair. Johnny Cage, unfair. You know, this guy with a mix-up that, like, you gotta react to online, unfair. Stuff like that. I feel that he is actually fair. So, yeah, that's my take. This picture that you see, this is my take on his matchup. Is it right? Honestly, that's how I feel, in my opinion. If you guys disagree with me, like, hey, a cowboy, no, you're wrong. Kotal beats Baraka. I want to know the reason why. I like hearing your guys' opinions. I really do. Hey, no, you know what? I think you're wrong. I think Buluc's actually way better than Ascension. Here's why. Actually, cowboy, you don't really know how to play totemic. So, I want to tell you how, and this is why it's actually second or first best. I do read your comments. When I'm at work, I scroll through them, like, between customers. I try reading them, then I'm like, oh shit, here comes one. I don't really have that much time to respond, but I do read them. I really do. It's just responding's hard. The only time I actually get pissed off or I get in trouble with a customer, it's like, you don't read my messages, or like they'll get pissed at something in the comment section, like, hey, you said you'd subscribe to me. No, I never did. When did I say that? And the customer looks at me like, really, motherfucker? Can I buy this now? I'm like, okay, hold up, okay? Wipe the slobber off your, like, bottom lip and blow your nose before you talk to me. Okay? Alright, now come to the register. So anyway, guys, this is a Cowboy 2011. That's my thoughts on Kotal, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!